How much of your enjoyment from watching anime comes from knowing that you're watching an anime? The debate about what actually even is an anime is, quite honestly, rather overdone. If the defining trope of anime is the art style, then shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender count as anime, and series like Panty and Stocking don't. Yet if you head on over to my anime list, you'll find that many people, myself included, will find the opposite to be true, because they value a show's nationality more than its artistic direction. For me personally, this is because I find that the art style of any given show will change from person to person, and whether the difference is as obnoxious as an atomic bomb or as subtle as a Where's Wally, it's present nonetheless. I don't really give a shit about what is an anime in comparison to other forms of animation, because at the end of the day, if it's good I'll like it, and if it isn't I won't. The most defining thing about anime to me, in contrast with cartoons, is the Japanese national identity and the ways in which this is imbued into the show, whether or not that is on a macro or micro scale.
These donuts are great! Jelly-filled are my favorite!
I bring all of this up because I recently was looking for some dog shit anime to mindlessly consume and ended up browsing the anime section on Netflix. I found The Daily Life of the Immortal King. This show is a pretty generic power fantasy anime following the One Punch Man setup of the protagonist is really overpowered but nobody knows except us, wink wink. Combine that with a magical high school setting and you're looking at one of the most generic anime ever made. Except it is not an anime. Just like most of what you own, it's made in China. This knowledge hit me like the Rona hit the world, with the distinct language being used by the voice actors making me realise I'm actually watching a literal Chinese cartoon. As far as cartoons go though, this is a pretty good show. If you're really craving some generic power fantasies, and the fact that I was able to pretty quickly marathon both seasons despite normally dropping shows like this by episode 5, if I even finished the first episode at all, should tell you that this series actually has some heart to it. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that this show is actually funny with a genuinely strange sense of humour. Like how when they present just how overpowered the protagonist is to the overpowered baby scene in episode 1. This is how the show starts. And while this is obviously just set up for having the super special awesome main character be overpowered, the fact that this show is willing to go so over the top with this explanation was genuinely endearing. This charm is present throughout the majority of the show. One of the later episodes of season 2 is an obvious piece of filler where the cast interact with the animators of the show. They learn how anime is made, they talk to the animators. The narrative stakes of the episode revolve around how understaffed the team is, so the characters have to help draw their own show or the world will end. This is a genuinely unique way of breaking the fourth wall that, dare I say it, actually made me like the series? On more than just a guilty pleasure I'm watching this for the sake of watching something kind of way? At the end of the day, The Daily Life of the Immortal King is hardly anything new or special, but it never tries to be. It tries to be a fun show and provides a unique experience with a wacky sense of humour to help elevate the series to be something worthy of your attention for a rainy day, when you don't care too much about finding a masterpiece and you just want to be entertained and have some fun. 6 out of 10.
金钱长，端详长气弱，勤俭烈的32岁的中国党老，驸马郎的支持方的满皇上的挥霍战来，张东冲的杀气，彼此两个心脏的彼此狠气，三两个长江壮志压，只在了目的大唐人。